You don't have, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. So this is a support portal. Okay. So where exactly you can have all the get over and above. It is a single source for all of your materials. Okay. So if you go here, you will be finding the latest. So okay, suppose I want to sort in the search knowledge base. I have searched something called US Payroll. Okay. And what I will do, this is most essential because whenever you will be working on a real-time project. Okay. And if you're having an access to this, it will be very good. Okay. So what I
Yeah.
will do, I will sort by release now. The latest document I'll be getting. Okay, so you can see the 14th April, they have some release some document. Okay, so but again, I will be focusing on this one. PYUS, wherever it is written, PYUS USA. Okay. So you can see there are
Okay.
so many things in the component. They call it component whenever you're working in a support project or any other, you're searching for certain things. Okay. So if you select by component, only for that component, you will be getting all the knowledge materials. Okay. So if I
Okay.
select here US payroll here, this is how I have learned, okay, in my projects and all. Because the implementation guide will not be giving you everything. Okay, this is up to a level, but beyond that, you have to always keep on learning from materials like this because these things do not get updated in your implementation guide directly. Okay, so you have to always explore. Okay, so if you see here, today is 18th of April, 14th of April, they have released some note. Okay, so this is something which is again, I will just show you. This we call it a KBA. Okay, KBA means knowledge based article. Okay, so you can see there is something called SAP notes and KBAs. Okay, so KBAs is
Okay.
nothing but knowledge based article, and this SAP regularly updates these documentations. Okay, they keep on adding new thing because suppose the client faces some, one of the clients face some challenges, and if it is standard issue, okay, SAP doesn't
Mhm.
have any answer, then they will be claiming that. Okay, so for that reason, SAP keeps on creating those documentation from their end. Okay, mostly under the legal. If something is government has declared, okay, during COVID time there is a lot of legal declaration by different governments across globe, right? So SAP was bound to support those requirements, right? So we don't have to configure something for that. Rather, SAP will be releasing those notes. We call it a note. Okay, so you can see this was released very recently, and this is for a US payroll. They did some technical enhancements to the US. There is a payroll function for that. Okay, what exactly done? If you see here, this is something they have done. Okay, so that's saying it will be delivering technical changes and prerequisites for PYUS. That means US payroll. Okay, and it has to be some. They did some correction and development for that. Okay, and it doesn't have
Okay.
any impact on the other system. And this is related to your some overpayment related stuff or technical enhancement, whatever they have done. Okay, so they have done some changes in the code actually. If you see, in some cases given they have done some changes in the program. Okay, and there is no functional impact as such, but there is some technical enhancements they have done. Okay, so in this way they will be mentioning, and also if it is showing released for customers, that means customers can use these functionalities from 13th of April. Okay, this is the way you again go to your basically your typical SAP node. Okay, and you can
Okay.
always apply that node. Okay, so apply that node. Whenever I'm saying apply that node, basically you have to there is something called technical configuration. There are some functional configurations. So in this case, you don't have to take any action, okay, because it is just some technical changes happen, and you have to talk to your SAP basis consultant. Maybe in the next upcoming release, whenever you are doing an upgrade, okay, this will be part of that bundle. Okay, so generally, whenever I'm saying an upgrade, right? So generally, it happens with a lot of nodes. Okay, so they will be upgrading with a new addition and all. So generally, an upgrade or enhancement pack kind of a, it's a kind of a combination of a lot of nodes. So this kind of nodes you will be finding here, okay, and they will be SAP will be sharing that there are different nodes, and where exactly you have to go and you have to apply those nodes. Okay, so whenever I'm coming here in the SAP, here in the PYUS, okay, also you can see there are some other nodes because we are talking about the tax these days. Okay, so let's say I will want to learn more about what kind of recent taxes and related issues are there, what kind of things are there in for SAP. Okay, specifically for a tax. Okay, so I will what I will do. I will be having all the filters here. This is very important, which is you will not be getting anywhere in the implementation guide. From my practical experience, I'm sharing where exactly you will be getting, there are so many notes specific to US payroll tax. If you see the tax, there are 554. Whatever number you are saying, that
Hmm.
many SAP notes have been released. Okay, SAP notes since SAP has started. You don't have to refer all the notes. Okay, only whatever is needed. Okay, for you, that part only you will be looking for. Okay, suppose I'm really searching for taxes and related stuff. Okay, then what I will do, only the tax interface, tax reporter, these three things I will be selecting, and I will be deselect means unselecting this one. Okay, this is generic
Okay.
one. Okay, so I'll click OK. Then I'll be getting only notes which are related to the my tax parameter. Okay, so you can see recently as per this. Okay, which is very important one. Again, I have filtered them using this release filter, and you can make a download also. There is an export. Okay, so you can make it download what are the recent notes. So this a list I will be sharing with you for your reference. Okay, it is not publicly available. Okay, so which is the
Okay.
no, I will be sharing this so that you will be getting a understanding what kind of changes SAP is bringing in recent past. Okay, suppose somebody will be asking, I think it's downloadable. Please, okay, I have to select that node. Okay, so whatever I have to select. Okay, so what nodes I'm selecting here. Okay, what I will do, maybe I will be putting a note here. Okay, so what couple of notes I will be sharing with you. Okay, so there are certain notes which is released in the recent past. Okay, you can see I have as I put a filter recently released on, so you'll be seeing these kind of details. Okay, so maybe I will be showing one of the notes again for here. Let's say this is one of the practical things. Okay, TR Q1 2023 functional changes for a US tax reporter. Okay, so maybe there is some changes which is related to the tax reporter, US tax reporter. Okay, and this is the recent one. 25th of March. And the category is very important. Category, if you see, this is a legal changes, right? That means you have to definitely do this, okay? Because it is a statutory requirement. It will be impacting your payroll across your country, okay? So across
Okay.
US. So that must be
Okay.
done. And you'd also check whether it is released for customer. Only if it is released for customer, then only you can implement. If it is in draft mode, okay, you cannot. Generally, as it doesn't release that way, but in case if it is in a draft mode or some other status, okay, you cannot. And this is a very high priority. Okay, you can see this is a very high priority SAP has released, and the corrections. And this is the also involves a manual activity. Whenever I'm saying manual activity, one that means there is a manual activity and there are some prerequisite as well. Okay, so now if you see this entire SAP notes here, so there are, this is I would like to explain today, okay, because this is an more practical approach instead of, because these things you will not be getting, even I have not seen this as I open this and I directly I will be doing it for you. Okay, so what they are explaining here is described in this notification of a legal changes. So every year some legal changes happens, right? So if I go here, what is, suppose you do not understand the requirement, what does it mean? Q1 2023 functional changes, they have just mentioned it. Okay, what does it mean? Suppose if you have to understand, they will be giving you some pre-read for that. So if you go to this particular node, okay, if any notification comes also, right, SAP generally publishes that. Okay, this is the legal change notification is coming up, and SAP is planning. This is an announcement. Okay, if you go here, okay, if I go to here, there will be some announcements, and if I go here, so let me open that node. For every country, they do have an announcement. Okay, so if I see here, okay, so you can see there is an 8,851 announcement, because SAP is global. Every year they releases so many things, right? So SAP keeps all those changes in a particular field here. Okay, so what I will do, so I will simply, because we are learning about US payroll, I will go here directly. I will search for United States. Let me go there. RSU, United States, USA. Yeah. So this is the United States. And for US, again, there may be so many products. Okay. I will be looking for mostly the on-premise product. Okay. Because this is a payroll and SAP success factor also. I can, because I belong to an HR consultant. So that these two things I will be selecting here. And component wise, I will be selecting here, let's say, I think it is not filtering. Let me check it out. PYUS. So it starts with your PYUS. I put it like this. Okay, so all the US related component. Otherwise, if you remember this component, you can directly put there. Okay, PYUSTR. Okay, PYUS US hyphen PR. Okay, if I put it like this, you can see PYUSTR. That is a component. If I click OK, then apply this filter. Go. Okay, so you can see there are some 386. Okay, religious are there, notes are there. But again, I can apply a filter saying publication date. Okay, so let's say the publication date is on this year only. I do not want something very old. So let's say from March 1st till today. Okay, so all the options will be available here. That is the date range I'll be applying. Click OK, go. I can see only 6 notes are here. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So this is the way you have to apply filter. Okay. So because you can see the publication date means these are already published. Okay. So what I can do, SAP solution status, maybe also I can put it like that is available. So you can see whenever we're having an SAP solution status, SAP keeps on changing. Okay. Available, plan, in analysis, out of scope. Okay. So there can be some requirements which comes. Okay, maybe SAP it is handled in a different way. SAP will tell that this will be not delivered by SAP because it is not affecting anything to the system. Then they will mention the analyst out of scope. Okay, and if some announcement is coming up, let's say finance budget is coming up, and SAP will be telling that it will take for around 10 to 15 days for them. Okay, then they will mention a row note saying that it is planned status. Okay, and after planned, maybe it will be in analysis. They were doing the company SAP is analyzing that, then they will mention the analysis. Okay, but if it is available, you can see this is already we are already checking. These are all available solution. That means SAP is already released those notes. Okay, then just we have to understand those notes, what does it mean, right? So we can see these are the different legal changes here. Okay, so respective with respect to our solutions of if I download any of the notes, so let's say this is a note. Okay, so this is a note 3311661. Okay, so for every announcement, okay, so we have, you can see these are all because I have chosen the filter TR. TR means is a tax reporter. Okay, every year for US payroll, we have a tax reporter solution, and there is a something called Form 941 in US. Okay, so if I go here one of the particular node, okay, what I can see, let's see. Okay, so there are three things here. For on again from a product point of view, if you see, there are three things they have repeated. You can see Form 941 is released already for on-premise, and also they have released for success factor
Success
as
rate.
well, because
Okay.
there are customers who are using US payroll. Some of them are in the on-premise product, some of them are in success factor product. Okay, so first of all, I will be showing you one thing which is in on-premise, and I will show you same thing. How does it look like? So I think I have to go back to, and I will be opening in a new window so that this page remains intact here. Okay, so in another thing, I will be showing you another. Let me open in a new tab. Okay, let me see if it is opening. Okay, so if it is opening here, okay, I think it is getting here like this. But let me open another window so that this will remain same. And I will be applying the filter again here. And I will be applying a filter like I will be, let's say, only US here, USA. And the product, as I was saying, this is an on-premise and success factor. And at the same time, component, let me, I will choose here PYUS TR. That is so from your actually once you start working in a support project and all, right? So it is you will be technically over a period of time you will be remembering this component because you have to raise sometimes ticket, you have to raise so if you refer, because this is a reference point which will be publicly not available. Once into a deployed into a implementation of the support project, you will be given an S user ID. Okay, like this. Okay, I have an S user ID. Okay, using this
Okay.
ID, you can log into this portal. Okay, this is where you can track all of your what are the new releases, what are the new nodes are coming up there. Okay, so what I will do, I
Okay.
will make it sure available, and here what I will do, I will be putting here click go. Okay, so I can see definitely 386, but I do not want everything. So I will be putting a date range here. Let's say today's date, sorry, from March 1st till today's date. Okay, so that filter I will apply. Otherwise, there will be so many notes. Okay, so these are all
Okay.
legal changes. So if you see here in the first note, which will be looking after SAP on-premise note. Okay, if I go there and there is something as per the notification from the government. Okay, so there is something, some changes in the form 941. Okay, so if I go to that particular notification. Okay, so this is the note. Okay, so you can see this is to give an update. Okay, this was announced on 17th of March, right? And on the LC for Q1 2023 impacting Form 941. Okay, IRS, do you know? Yesterday we have discussed that IRS website. Okay, and
Yes,
all the
yes.
religious actually they have published in their website. So SAP has their own legal team. Okay, so there is a legal team where exactly they also look into the government website. Okay, so what I will do, there are two notification. One is in March 2023, another is a revise. So this one I will select. So if you want to learn about it, what is the business process? What are the changes SAP has done? So this is an employee or employer's quarterly federal tax return. Just a way. Can you tell me what are the equivalent to in India? If you have remembered, we do it in India as well. These things.
Uh, Sorry. In India,
India also we have a similar kind of an activity we do.
tax returns, right?
Yeah. So there is something called in India also we do have a tax return, right? Where exactly if you see in India also we have a tax return. Okay, for every uh, India tax return deadline. Okay, if you see here, mostly like ITR. Okay, this is something
Yes,
that
yeah,
we
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Right, yeah.
ITR, you
Mm.
must be familiar about it, right? So this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
something we do have a timelines, right? So for every year, these are the timelines. Okay, for individual there is a different timeline. Okay, for businesses there is a different timelines, right? Where
Correct, correct,
exactly you have to submit all. This is mandatory, right?
correct,
So similar
correct.
kind of stuff in US. Okay, this is an employer point of view. So this is how does your forms looks like the 941 form. Okay, they call it 941 form, and this report actually takes care your for 2023. This is the fourth quarter, 1 to 3 4, January to March, then April to June, July to September, and October to December. Okay, so this is a how does the form looks like, and here you can see employer identification number which you have discussed in SAP yesterday. Okay, EIN, that number you have to enter. Employer, this is not employee. Okay, that means how
Okay,
do SAP will understand which is your, so for that reason you can see there is a 2-digit code then followed by 7-digit code here. Okay, so this is the principle. By principle it is coming from your US Department of the Treasury Department, and they call it IRS, Internal Revenue Service. Okay, so here basically your company name and address, everything will be captured here. And this is having multiple part of it. In the part one, they are talking about number of employees in that particular quarter, okay, who received this wages and all. So this is, I'll be giving a sample to it. This is the latest, you can see revised March 2023 version. Okay, so maybe you'll be have to look into it. This is a statutory thing. Okay, there is a part one. Okay, what kind of taxes you are having for under each category. Okay, so many fields you have to fill up. Okay. Similarly, tell us about your deposit schedule, where exactly how you exactly schedule means deposit your taxes and all, right? Whether you are doing a semi-weekly or monthly, okay, what kind of things. So all the things, okay, the employer has to fill up. Okay. Similarly, the part three, it is all about the business. Okay. So basically, so many details, the health plan, your future use, okay, qualified sick leave wages, okay. So all the things you have to again fill it out. Is there any third party signing? Is there any sign? So towards the end, they have to sign it up. So what they have done in this form, okay, I will be sending a send update for this one. I will be sending to you. There's a payment voucher. Once you have done it, you'll be getting a voucher for it. Okay, and also how many days you will be keeping this record. Okay, so they also define all these things how you'll be doing it. Okay, so what changes they have done you'll be finding here. Okay, so this is to give an update that the tax report has changed, because this format generally gets changed on a regular basis. Okay, so every year or maybe, okay, Based on that changes, SAP also has to incorporate those changes. Okay. So what they have done, some general info that for nodes, check out this. Okay, there is a solution document also SAP has offered. Okay. So for this US tax reporter solution, if I go there, it is very handy. Okay, so it is, you don't have to struggle much. If any such kind of
Okay.
announcement comes, okay, SAP will be providing you all detailed documentation. You can see this is a latest document which you will not be finding any in the any implementation guide. So for that reason, I do not refer implementation guide. I always prefer from a regular this taxation point of view and statutory things. I always refer my launchpad, okay, or the support portal. Here you can see there is a tax reporter solution which SAP has released on 27th of December, just recent, just 3 4 months back. Okay, so they have released, and these are the prerequisites whenever you are configuring. Okay, because every year we have to do this activity. Okay, and for this, what they have told, for every year end activities whenever you are doing. Okay, so couple of notes you have to refer. So these are the three notes whenever it comes to the US payroll taxation. Okay, you have to refer, and there are some materials they have given. Okay, how some concept. This is again readily available material which I will be sharing with you for your individual learning purpose. Okay, and these are the list of activity you will be doing, okay, when it comes to annual reporting. Okay, it will be W2 form, tax statement, W3. Okay, audit report, summary report, W3 file format, all the things you have to do. In a you means actually your HR has to do. Okay, but you have to
Okay.
assist them technically. So there are these are the reports, and there are certain online forms will be available via ESS. Okay, organizations who are using employee self-service, they will be having this W2C form available online, and they will be able to generate and fill up that form. Okay, and these are list actually, so you don't have to worry. These are list of reports, or these are the list of annual reporting point of view. This many reports. So 941 is one of that. Okay, you can see 941 is included in this. It is a quarterly reporting. Okay, 941 is the employer's quarterly federal tax return. There can be so many tax, okay, but this is one of the important one where exactly employer has to submit this tax return file. Okay, so these are the some things you have to look into. This is a very long document, and there are certain special reporting as well. When I say special reporting, there are certain states, okay, just like Puerto Rico, and there are certain some peculiar, some additional reporting will be there. Like for New York, for fourth quarter, they want a different way. Okay, for Texarkana, there is a separate report. For states like KY, OH, and PA, for county, we have studied discussed, right? County, city, and school district level, they have a different kind of a reporting. So wherever it is a statutory thing, you don't have to create your own. SAP will be providing you that if there is a legal notification from the government of US, okay, from IRS department, is seeing the notification, SAP will be designing and developing. SAP is a dedicated team. They will be
Mm.
defined and creating all these things, and they will be delivering. Only thing is you have to, if any functional configuration is needed, they will be mentioning here in this node. I don't think is there any such a configurations they have mentioned. Otherwise, they will be always giving you the latest announcement, latest information here. So from that, you have to. They also will be preparing a checklist for you, okay, so that you do not miss anything. Okay, so this is for year end of 2022. Okay, one because this note will be released every year whenever you, because in the US year end is a very big activity. And for year end of 2022, SAP has given a series of notes like this. Okay, so these are the different notes. Okay, yeah, you will be getting from US for US payroll, and for tax reporting, this many notes you have to go through. So it is a very huge task. Okay, and what I will do, I'll be sharing the latest this one. Okay, and also SAP will be providing all of your user guides and resources for the how do you create this tax reporter configuration. Suppose you have not done, if you're doing for the first time. Okay, and there are some reporting configurations for that. Okay, so all the things SAP will be providing, and there are certain scenario they will be also providing some videos as well in some cases. Okay, so these are the different list of documentation they provide everything. Okay, and when it comes to tax authority also. Okay, so like they have a specific, suppose you are having a individual, in general, I told you that is IRS government. Okay, irs.gov. Okay, so this is the website. If you want to learn something new, latest one, right? You can always refer. This is an official website of US. Okay, for individual as well as the corporate tax. So all of the tools, okay, for your account announcement, everything you will be getting from here. But if you see, in some states they have their own individual. Okay, so for those, SAP has what they have done in this document, the tax authority which we are discussing yesterday, right? So many tax authorities there here. Okay, suppose you are learning, if you are you are to learn about what are the recent things happen in Texas. Okay, so they have a dedicated sites here. So here in this file, it's this file is very important one. If I select Texas here, okay, it will take me to the from a Texas point of view, what are the any specific requirement is there? Okay, so that also you can get it from your tax policy news, Texas related taxes. Okay, so what are the related taxes? What kind of taxes they take? Okay, all the details. It may not be everything is relevant for SAP point of view, but if you want to enhance your knowledge on this, you can definitely. Suppose SAP, your client is asking something. Okay, how do you do this in SAP? Then you have to always, instead of configuring directly in your system, you have to ask, show me the legal notification. Okay, so your client may be aware of much about it because they day in and day out they actually look into this kind of a website. And if you have to, if they want something, then ideally they should go there, and you can see all the details related tax, either the property tax or is it any all, okay, any specific tax, okay, any specific states and all. You have to go there, and they will be asking, you have to ask for the notification. If it is valid, then you have to check it out how it can be done, whether it is a part of scope of SAP or not. Okay, so those details you will find. It's a little tricky, or I can say complex, but mostly if SAP caters to most of the requirements of the statutory. If it is statutory thing, SAP will definitely take care of it. Okay, then actually we have to look into, if anything is not in SAP, how do you handle it legally? If it is a legal requirement, and technically if it is not feasible, or SAP says it is beyond the scope of SAP, then you have to take a call. Okay, basically SAP has, your client has to take a call, and definitely you have to go through that. Okay, so this is something I will recommend. And other than that, so there is another website which is free of cost. Okay, that is called ASUZ. Are you familiar about ASUZ by any chance?
No, actually, I
No,
don't
right?
know about it.
Okay, so this is an important website. Okay, this is also there are certain features you don't have to, means they may be asking for a payment. Okay, I think this is a paid site. Okay, but there are certain things. If your client is working for a US payroll, definitely ideally they will be having an access to this. Okay, so I had a lot access to this a long time back. Okay, but if I register, if I log into this, okay, I think they will not be giving an access to me now, because this is something, I think it's a paid one. Okay, otherwise you can also get an access. Okay, what generally they do, they discuss what are the recent changes, whatever I have discussed with you, right? Those notes and all. So they create a video for that. Especially it is ideally for people from US. Okay, so people who are in US, they discuss this. This is a community for them. Okay, so in that they discuss what are the recent changes. Okay, it is nothing but your ASUG means America's SAP User Group. Okay, all of the not consultant, rather the clients or the architect or those people, they generally come to this kind of a webcast and all, and they discuss. SAP also releases some, so those kind of a notes. But you can create your account. Okay, once you start working in a project. Okay, and generally it will be not be accepting your Gmail and all. Okay, so generally you can use your work email, and accordingly you can log in, and you can, this is a from a future point of view, I just tell you. Okay, and similarly we
Okay.
do have also India, also we do have a similar kind of a group. For every country we do have a grouping like this. Okay, community. Okay, where you can access all the materials here. Okay, so now coming to our configurations point of view, what exactly we do. Okay, so how do you see that? Let's say today we are discussing this node, right? I think this node will not be there. Okay, so this is a technical note. Okay, but if it is any notes which involves any kind of let's say configuration is needed for that, right? So I will just open this one of the particular note here. Okay, this is a year-end announcement. Okay, so they will tell you what exactly you have to do. Okay, so here they have released in somewhere around last year, and and there are some cases SAP will be telling you, for this legal changes you apply the package. Okay, whenever I'm saying HR support package. This is very important one to understand. HRSP. What does it mean? HR support package. Okay. If SAP is saying in this way, actually you don't have to do anything. Okay. So this will be done by your SAP basis consultant. Okay. So those basis consultant, they will be you means it's a part of the upgrade or release. Okay. We call it enhancement pack. Okay. So based on your in which enhancement pack you are in, whether you are using EHP 8 or EHP 7. Based on that, SAP will be releasing separate notes, and your SAP basis consultant, they will be actually releasing, means upgrading your system. Okay, and accordingly, you will be having your basically all the configuration will be updated accordingly. You don't have to do it anything manually for this. Okay, so this is something you have to understand. And every year, this is an ongoing activity. For US payroll specifically, SAP releases this kind of a notes on every year, and you will be finding all the links here directly. Okay, so all the links. So this is a kind of an announcement every year SAP will be releasing, and that you have to take care. So this is one of the notes. This is an announcement note. And if any changes is happening for, let's say, we'll be talking about year-end report for this, okay? What kind of changes they have done? So if you see the further note, this is another note. If I open this, you will be finding more detail about it. Okay. So this is something which is already, I think we have seen it. This is the report. Okay. And what they have given, always they're asking for apply this particular package. That means this is a particular release, and to then apply this CLC delivered US country version October 2022 or this. Okay. So this, in this case, as a functional consultant, you don't have to do anything. This is easy. Okay. So if they, because generally if something is coming up, okay, so if they are talking about some configurations and all, then they will give you a note here saying these are the setup configurations you have to do in your system. Okay, but here in this scenario, what they have done only, they have told only to apply these packages. That means these are all SAP basis configurations. Okay. So once it is done, what they are saying here, okay. So there are certain delivery, after delivery, they are saying post application checks, because once note is applied, you have to take a lot of time for testing. Okay. Whether it's for the notes, whether it is working or not. Okay. So how do you check that? So basically, you will be checking. Also, they are giving some hints here. How do you test all the things? Okay. So this one I want to do it today as an application point. Okay. We may not have this kind of a notes applied in your system. Okay. But whenever you will be applying this kind of a notes, how do you taste all the things? Right. So this one I want we to do in our system. So we have to go where? We have to go to this particular path. Okay, tax reporter, tax form definition, and this. Okay, then we have to select our form. We'll be checking. So we may not have all the things in our system, but we'll be checking this one. This is a common thing across every year. Okay, so this is something we have to check it out. And also there is another document. This SAP also releases some blog. Okay, so yeah, so this is what actually I was looking for as well. Every year you will be having a community blog. Okay, so from a US tax report or year end, okay, so there is a community blog. It is freely available for everyone. Okay, what kind of legal changes SAP has brought in? Okay, whatever we have discussed so far in a single blog. Okay, one of the SAP person, you can see this is a person from SAP with SAP tagline. Okay, so those people generally collect all the information, and they'll be putting in a blog. These are the notes you have to refer for this year. And after, there will be a different three phases of your implementation. Okay, once is this one, and there is a phase two, how you will be manually doing some of those implementing, and phase three is post implementation. What are the things you have to do? Okay, so these are different guides you can see, like for tax reporter, for there are certain KBS, knowledge based article, there are certain webcasts, some additional blogs also you will be finding. Okay, so like in US also we have a tax factory. Okay, 11.0, that is your BSI and all, and there is something called reverse tax engine also. These three things as a reading exercise I will be giving to you, because this is also an important one. And whenever you are doing these changes, right, you can see there are 188 comments. So I will recommend to read all the comments as well. Okay, so this is something publicly available. and what kind of challenges people will be facing, you will be seeing there as well. Okay, so this is something you will be finding, and SAP directly answers that as well from here. Okay, SAP is some team member in SAP. This is an informal group, okay, where people will be asking questions if they're facing any challenges. Okay, if you see somebody has faced a difficulty here. Suppose somebody will be asking in an interview process, have you ever done any year-end activities? Okay, so if you have not done, you can take any hint from here how it is done from whatever the notes which I have said here in this blog. Okay, at the same time you can see the people, general people or the consultant, right? So if they are going through, if while applying that notes, what kind of error they are getting. Okay, so you can see, and they're asking for help. Okay, and you can see there are people are answering that as well. Okay, so this is a good learning exposure whenever you will be going through this kind of a blog. Even I have learned, okay, maximum time 70% of my learning happens here. Okay, I do not refer generally the implementation guide or any books. Okay, because this isn't something every year changes. Unless and until you are working in a project, you will not be able to understand. Okay, and how to gain that experience, because maybe many of the people like you may not have an access to a system. Okay, so in this case, you learn from others' experience. Okay, so how other people. Okay, so if you see here, what kind of okay question they have posted. Okay, what kind of, so you can see they've applied this particular note. Okay, but still while testing it, they are getting this kind of an error. What is in that error? Okay, so they ask for help, and there is a person who is a moderator. If you see the M symbol for any member, that means that person is a moderator in SAP or SAP community. They will be giving an answer, justifying their answer. So this is the way actually you have to learn. Okay, so from somebody has asked question related to Oregon. Okay, so they have given some website whether it is going to be implemented or not. Okay, so this is something SAP always keep on changing and give these answers as well. If you see the latest one, okay, so I think so many people have applied notes and they have given their screenshot. Okay, it is a good learning exposure. You can see for March also they have recently somebody has implemented and they are getting some issues. Okay, this is a common thing. Okay, every year, because every year in US this is a year-end activity we do, and you'll be finding those question and answer format. Okay, so latest was 27th of March. Somebody has replied. Okay, so there are some requirement and how SAP will be handling those scenario. Okay, so this is something is a you will be learning from this kind of a blogs, and definitely you can ask questions to me as well. So here we have a summary from SAP point of view. Now what we will be doing, we'll be seeing one of the notes how SAP has done that. Okay, and we'll be checking a few of the things, and okay, then we will, because this is very endless. Okay, whatever people are getting issues you may not get in your system. Okay, but again you have to check. This is a long activity. Okay, generally you will not be getting any implementation guide. So always you have to check into the blocks as well as the support portal. Okay, you will not be getting in any implementation guide as well. So this is something we have to learn. So let's go to the system and we will be seeing one of the activity. Okay, this activity we will be doing. Okay, so can you open your system once, Prem? I will be guiding you where exactly you have to check all these things every year.
Okay.
If you can open and you can share your screen. It is coming up. Yeah. So where exactly we will be seeing all the things, all these settings, because configurations are constant, okay, but that things will be changing every year. Okay, so what we need to do, you have to go to tax reporter. Do you find something called tax reporter there in your system?
Uh,
Not here.
one-
You will be finding them in there is something called tax reporter in the SPRO. Otherwise, just a minute. I will be just looking at what exactly that. Huh. Go to SPRO and from that, yeah, log in. Go to the tax reporter. Yeah. So here you can see there are certain configurations. Okay. So what we will do today, let's first learn initial one. Okay. So you can see the first one is we are defining the reporting tax company for which actually we are defining. If you see, execute that. Let's see one by one. Yeah. So this is your feature. One of the feature UTXRP, and here exactly your tax company is defined and there's a default value. If you expand this, go to that otherwise. Okay, so I think it is for everything. This is a common thing. Okay, so that is something it is here. But from a US tax payroll, okay, so tax reporter from this current year point of view, I will tell you what exactly they have expecting here. Okay, can you go to tax reporter tax form definition? There is a node called tax form definition. Can you go there? There will be a something called tax form definitions. So you're not seeing the, yeah. So this is where exactly you have to configure every year. Okay, so here if you go here, define original tax forms. Okay, the first one. Yeah. If you go inside it, so whenever you are having in such kind of an announcement from SAP, okay, so there are certain work to be done from here. Okay, so here you can see there are some tax forms have been already designed. Okay, so what you need to do here? Okay, so here, so there are so many tax forms around 373. Okay, so based on your organization, which one you are using currently? Okay, so that you can choose from here. Okay, so let's say you can choose that HRF 941. Can you see there is a HRF 941 employers which we discussed in the first half today. So if you select that, okay, double click on that, and tax form fields, you select the tax form here. So here you can see, so there are, these are the certain configurations which exactly we do. Okay, and here we always check whether it is they're all quarterly, right? We have to ensure this is a quarterly thing we do. And if you expand that period, can you expand that period on the right hand side? No, right hand side. There is a start date and there is an end date, right?
Yeah, what actually here? There is start date end date is there.
Huh. So basically, if you click that, there is a greater than symbol, right? Can you expand that? Is this
Yeah.
expandable? Yeah. Okay, I
No.
think it is not. Okay, that is fine. Okay, so generally what happens, so every year, if any changes needed, okay, we come here, and this is a federal tax because 941 is a federal tax return. Okay, so what we do, we have to come here and what based on the requirement. Okay, so whatever SAP is saying, okay, and accordingly you have to do this configuration. Suppose SAP will be telling that you have to set up this. Okay, by default it will be quarterly. Okay, based on the form. Okay, and this is the only configuration where exactly whether you want what kind of details you want it. Okay, so you can see only the personal data has been selected here. Okay, maybe in your organization or you may want more things. Okay, like address also you want, org assignment also you want. Okay, work site address also you want from a employer information point of view. Okay, you can simply check it. Okay, then you just save it. Okay, that is the only thing you have to do here. Okay, you can check it for more fields there. Okay,
Okay.
address, org assignment. Okay, you can check
Okay.
that, tick that box. Yeah. Okay, similarly address. Okay, similarly the worksite address. Okay, so here you can see there is an magnetic tab form, SAP script form, FP interface. Okay, so for every forms, whatever is relevant, okay, SAP will be providing these options. Okay, you don't have to do much here. Okay, so if it is a standard form, it is a standard form interface form, right? SAP will be providing you everything. Okay, only thing is you have to just come here whether you have to check whether it is assigned or not. Okay, so now you just save it. Okay, so it may say do not make any changes because these are mostly statutory requirement. Okay, ideally we do not change it, but if in case if it is needed, okay, as per your requirement, as per your organization requirement, okay, maybe some additional information required by your organization, you can always do that. Okay, there is nothing no harm in doing that, right? This is
Okay.
something you have to take care. So that is other than that, there are certain things you can see something called tax form fields here in the left hand side. Can you click that? Double click on that folder, tax form fields. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So is anything coming up? No.
No, no.
Then you have to choose the second one, issuing of tax form. Okay. So there is something called magnetic tape. Magnetic tape. That also I don't think you have to do much here. Click that magnetic tape structure. Okay. Click that tick button. Yeah. So you will be finding here. So if anything is needed, okay. But ideally, we do not do much here. So this is again given by SAP, and SAP, if it is they are saying that this is an event, this is that you have to record and all, then you have to do it this configuration. Otherwise, you don't have. Okay. The last one is form layout editor. Okay, the last one go there, form layout editor. This is again provided by SAP. You can see the tax form already has been designed by SAP. Okay. So you'll be finding this is okay. Yeah, okay. What is this showing? PDF forms defined under this activity is only valid for an alternative. Okay. Click close that. Yeah. Hmm. So yeah. So these are a couple of configurations, and SAP will be providing whatever is needed for every year. But this is a structure which remains the same for every year. Okay. So based on your requirement, not requirement rather, it's a statutory thing. SAP will be telling you what exactly the changes you have to do. Okay. This is the documentation SAP provides here every year. You have to come here, and whatever changes for that particular year you have to do it. Okay. And accordingly you have to if, whether it's a configuration or if it is done by your SAP means your SAP basis person, okay, that you have to look into it. Okay, so once it is done, okay, what you have to do next? Okay, so let's say you have done all the configurations from here, whatever is needed by that particular year. Okay, there is something called PU19 transaction. Okay, can you go to the PU19? The transaction is PU19. This is the input and transaction you have to remember.
Okay.
Okay. So where exactly you do your tax reporting. This is an end user transaction, or I can say this is an end user activity, or as an admin user activity. Whenever you are doing your tax returns and all, you have to come here. Okay. So there are so many things. Okay. We do here something called quarterly and annual and monthly. We have so many things here. Okay. If you go to the quarterly here, go to quarterly, expand that. So you can see there is a 941 form, which we have discussed today. Okay. 941, just select that form. Form 941. And in the right hand side, you have to select your tax company, which actually you are doing it from which company. Tax company, you select your tax company here. Then you choose your in which period you want to report it. So you can put it like 31st of March, like that. 31st of March, you can put it. Hmm. Then consider payroll ledgers also. You can put the same date, 31st of March. Okay. So before we do a production run, generally what we do your test run. Okay. Can you click that test run? There are 4 things here. Test run, there is a generation of for filing details, form field definitions and all, right? So after doing this, okay, so there will be here in this site itself, okay. So you will not be able to do it now directly because we do not have a relevant data. Okay, but after coming here, okay, so you have to generally Can you click that all magnetic media files in the left hand side? Yeah. Okay. So here you can see these are different options. Tax form class, tax company, everything is they'll be giving. Click that tick button, green button there. Okay. Mm. So there is no magnetic media at present, okay, for this. Okay. But ideally based on your company, so this is a screen where exactly you have to come and you have to basically file. Okay. And there will be a linkage in the backend. So there are certain configurations. Okay. And here your entry point for your HR manager or payroll manager or somebody who is filing all these taxes on part, right? They have to come here. But in this demo environment, you will not be able to see this because this is something we do it in a real time. Okay. But this transaction is very important one. Suppose somebody will be asking you in an interview, okay, what kind of what are the activities you do? Okay. So today's whatever session I have covered is a very important part. Okay. And every US payroll consultant spend generally 2 to 3 months, okay, for this entire activity. If it is a big company or a small company, okay, so they run
Mhm.
all the reports, all the forms, whatever you are seeing here, they test everything, okay, then they reconcile it. Okay, generally HR expert, but if any challenges comes, so generally technical consultant like us or functional consultant like us, we generally support it. Okay, but at least you should be familiar with all the forms, whatever you are seeing. This is a quarterly form. Okay, similarly, if any changes happening, okay, for return for Puerto Rico, this is the second one. Okay, and there is something called unemployment insurance. Okay, states unemployment insurance that we call it SUI. Okay, SUI. Okay, that
Okay.
also we do have. So many things are here, but the principle behind is same. Okay, so generally SAP will be releasing a note and every year, and you have to rely on that particular notes only. Okay, you don't have to refer any implementation guide, you don't have to do anything. It is very systematic. Okay, if you think about it, and same is applicable for Indian payroll as well. Like Indian payroll, we do not have that much activities, but generally for any uh, this year tax lab has been changed, right? So SAP will be coming up such kind of a notes and they will be asking us to apply that note and all. And accordingly, only functional consultant job is to validate or to test everything. So for that, you should be familiar with all this transaction, all this SU19 here, in especially for US. And you have to familiar with all the forms here. What does it form? Maybe technically you know what is a form 941, but statutorily also you have to understand what does they mean, what is the meaning of a 941 form, what is the meaning of SUI. Okay, so if you see here, there are some quarterly correction report as well. Can you see that? Let's say during your first filing, your payroll consultant or your payroll people have done some mistake. Okay, you have an option to correct that as well. Okay, so can you expand that quarterly correction as well? So here, all kind of corrections. Suppose if you have done some mistake in the previous folder, okay, 941 or 941 returns, okay, or SUI based reporting, you have done some mistake or multiple worksite reports, okay. In case if you have filed some wrongly, ideally it doesn't happen, okay, but in case, okay, so in case if you are doing that, you have an option to correct, okay, you have to file these reports, means revise, okay, you can do that. Same thing is also applicable for Indian payroll as well. Generally, if they do some kind of mistake, generally that doesn't happen inside SAP, but generally you do it, people do it online. Okay, but here in US payroll, it happens inside SAP directly. You can do that. And same is
Okay.
applicable for your annual report. So these are the quarterly report. If you expand your annual, can you expand that? We have a W2, W2 form 940. Suppose your client may ask, or sorry, in the interview they may ask, what are the annual things you do and what are the quarterly things you do, right? Then you can at least remember all these forms. Okay, and what does it do? You can simply search for this in a wiki, okay, or in Google. You will be finding those not technical SAP side of it, but functionally, how does it work? So this entire list, just make a note, you remember everything. Okay, so here what does the report means? It is not very important to come means run all this report actually. So this is mostly, these are all standard. Okay, you don't have to do much changes in the configuration because all offered by SAP. Only things you have to do is, if any error happens, or it could be data issue, it could be some backend configuration issue. In that case, you have to help your company or your clients okay, in fixing that, okay. And that kind of things you will be always getting learning from the blogs, okay. The three blogs which I have discussed today, I'll be compiling that and I'll be curating that, I'll be sharing this with you. And that three blogs for this year will be essential, and you remember that one only. You don't have to refer any 2020, 2021 earlier, because every year SAP will be keep on changing this, okay, as per the latest changes in the regulation or a compliance point of view based on IRS notifications. So you have to take care all the things, okay, every year. So for as you will be appearing interview this year, right? So definitely I will recommend what are the blogs today I have shown to you. That blogs you have to refer, and accordingly you have to also connect the dot. That means if these changes are coming up, where to do this configuration, because how to do is very simple. SAP will be giving you step by step, okay, these are the things you have to do. And in case if it is saying HRSP, HR service pack, you don't have to do anything. You have to talk to your SAP basis consultant. They will be applying those patches. We call it patches or upgrade files, okay. They will be applying those patches and all, okay. So it is very similar to you are using any Android or any iOS device, okay. There are some upgrades happens, right? We automatically, your system will tell, mobile will be getting notifications to upgrade that particular apps. Your apps is outdated, something like that, okay. So here it is a larger version, and SAP, you have to talk to your SAP basis consultant. They will be upgrading the patch, okay. So then all the new changes, whatever is SAP has told, then those will be appeared, okay. Only thing is you have to spend a lot of time for testing. Around 60 to 70% of your time will go in this kind of a scenario, mostly for the testing purpose. Okay. So this is something you have to understand, and same goes with your monthly. There is a monthly report also for SCY monthly. Okay. So this is a series of report. When it comes, this is a tool actually. What SAP has done, they've combined all the reports in a single transaction. Okay. SU19 here, and in that transaction, they call it tax reporter. And in this is a very important, and you have to means at least understand functionalities of each and every reports, technically as well as functionally, okay. And they will be definitely asking you questions in an interview process, right? And you have to answer that. And the notes which I have discussed today, I'll be sharing with you, and this is the only learning for you today. I do not want to overwhelm with a lot of things, and this is an activity which I have also, I was in my project which I was doing 2 years back. At present, I'm not doing a US payroll anymore. But in my earlier, when I left my previous company, in that almost we spent around how much? 3 to 4 months, starting from November till February. We are doing this entire activity. Okay. And we have around 30 plus people who are involved in the testing only. All this kind of, because the client was having, it was one of the beverage client. Okay, so cold drinks, they were providing cold drinks and all this beverage and all in US, and they had around more than 30,000 employees across almost all the states in US. So it was very complex. We have 30 people only for testing. Okay, forget about the consultant like me. 2 or 3 people who are doing the configuration, and the remaining people all testing only. Okay, so this is a kind of if you're getting an opportunity like that, it will be very well and good. Okay, but this is a must activity for any US payroll. Tax, yesterday we have studied, and today we have talked about the tax reporting. Okay, all kind of tax reporting will be done from here. And I think this is for today. And I'll be sharing all the notes. Okay, I'll also uploading into the our US payroll LMS. Okay. And yesterday's video and today's video, today I'll be by the today's night, I'll be uploading in the portal itself. Okay. And it is very comprehensive, although we will not be doing anything directly from an execution point of view, but this is up to this, we have done 90% of the thing. The remaining thing is only the executing the button. And if you're getting any error, you have to solve that error using SAP notes, or directly you have to contact SAP. Generally, SAP supports here because they're all legal requirement, and we do not have that much involvement. We generally, if any issues, it could be a data issue. If it's a data issue, you have to correct yourself, okay? Or if it is a configuration issue, you have to do it yourself. Or in case if everything is correct, still some issues are there, then you have to report to SAP, or you can start utilizing those community which I have told you. Okay, so that community is free of access. You can get those access. You can, if using your Gmail ID also, you can log in. But there are certain things like support portal and all, you will not be able to access now. Okay, that those details I'll be providing to you in the portal itself. Okay, in our LMS portal for US payroll, and those links I'll be providing so that you can have a look at it. So you spend some time reading all these things, make some notes, okay, whatever you have studied today. But for whatever I have told to you, this is from my experience, and okay, and you will not be getting all the things in the typical implementation guides. Okay, so that is something you have to learn, and same is applicable once you do this activity for 1 year, right? Definitely in the next year, okay, maybe some other notification will come. Okay, the process will remain the same. You have to use the same tool here, tax reporter, but what you do that may change every year based on the, because you never know what kind of government will be deciding what kind of notification. Accordingly, SAP will be make you ready, and accordingly you have to also prepare those notes and follow those notes, okay, and that you have to do it. Okay, so that is all overall. I just give a gist what I did in the 3 months. I just in a 1 hour I have just tried to explain it. So I'll take a pause here. If you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer.
Okay, no questions actually. So I have to check these things, okay, because I
Hmm.
don't know even. In coming to success factor, these
Huh.
things is there, or there is any
Huh,
back
huh, I
end?
forgot. I forgot to show that. Yeah. So thanks for reminding me what I will do. So I will be opening the SAP success factor notes as well. So just let me open that SAP notes for success factor as well. Let me open. That is because we have two notes, one for SAP on-premise, another note is for success factor. Okay. So let me open that note. So let me share with you. Hmm. This is something. Let me share my screen. So let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yes, yes,
So you're able to see, right? Yeah.
yes.
So this is something will remain the same because EC payroll is not nothing new. Actually, this is although SAP religious notes like that. Okay. So I will show you what exactly it was there. Okay. So let me go back to the main page of this note. For US, and this is we have already chosen a product as a on-premise as well as success factor. What I will do, I will be choosing only success factor. Okay. Then let's see what other things are there. Okay, if I click go, and you can see this is for SAP success factor note. And if I go inside it, what they are saying, okay, almost same thing. Okay, so if I see here, same note. Okay, there is no changes because already we have seen whatever we have seen on-premise, right? Okay, so they will be giving you same thing, but let's see towards the end they may be saying something here. Let's say this is my US payroll, US tax reporter. Okay. So let me close this, open in a new window. What they have done, same note they have given here. Okay. And what they are saying, uh, same reference, but what they do here, there are some minor changes here. So they are saying as per this, use this form, list revision report. In general, the due date for first quarter is April 30. So people might be who are working in US payroll, this month is very busy for them. Okay. So that information they are offering here. The due date for first quarter forms is April 30. That means the last day of the first month following the close of the calendar quarter. Okay, this is the quarterly activity they do. Okay. If the last day falls on the weekend, it is the next workday they generally do it. Okay, check the due date for reporting authority and released for US. So this doesn't change much because when it comes to EC payroll, right? Because the engine is still in the on-premise only. Okay, so for that reason, we do not have any specific thing, separate thing, new thing for your success factor. Okay, so you can see the same note whatever SAP has released for on-premise, same is applicable for here as well. Suppose if I go here in this particular node, okay, I will be seeing the same thing here. Okay, so if you see same thing, okay, although there are certain manual activities they are saying, software components, okay, and year-end activity, this document refers, which is already we have seen. This is actually they release this note phase wise. There are 3 phases. Generally, around the month of October, they will be releasing one note. Around November, December, they will be releasing another note. So for second phase, and the third phase will be around month of January, February. They will be releasing this notes. Okay, they keep on changing. We have to always monitor this notes. But by the way, same thing. So I do not think any changes here. And if any manual instruction, this is very important one. Okay, so whenever you are seeing these notes, right? If there is an you are seeing something, whether this is manual activities, if it is yes, okay, definitely you have a functional consultant should do this. Okay, this will not be done by your support package or your basis consultant. They will not be doing it. Okay, if the note involves a manual activity, definitely you have to take it consider, and you have to do this. And how to do this? So they will, it will be in your attachment. They will be providing those files. Okay, what I will do, I will download this file and I will show you how does it look like, this report. Okay, so let me open it. Okay, so this is something I'll be putting into the US payroll folder so that I will not be forgetting. Payroll, US payroll. This is one. Another note is inside this note. I have another file called manual instructions. Okay, if there is a manual instructions, right? SAP will be definitely provide you that instruction how to configure it, because every year there can be some changes. Okay, so let's first open this zip file. What is there in that zip file? So let me open this zip file, extract. Okay, so this is a note actually. So you don't have much information. This is an HTML file. Okay, I think this is an XML file. Yeah. So this is an XML file which you may not be able to understand this. Okay, but this is a file which will be going to the note. Okay, whenever you're applying this note, you don't have to understand this one. Okay, but in case if any manual correction is happening, right? So that only you have to consider. If I'm going to the manual correction here, this is the manual correction notes. You're able to see my notes, right? Manual correction. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So whenever you are having such kind of federal, so this is a which we have discussed today for Form 941 for Q1 2000 through 2023. Okay. So they have told these are the manual corrections we have to do. Nothing much. Okay. If you see just a 5-page document and excluding those 2-3 pages, you will be finding this is the transaction you have to do. Okay. So what they are saying, to perform the following changes, log into the system and you have to create this form. Okay, so how do this? So why do you want to do this now? Because very easy. This is nothing to do with nothing so difficult. Just a 1 page. Okay, and once you are done it, right? Just okay. Out of 5 pages, only 3 pages goes for SAP's cover page. Okay, only 2 pages of configuration. Okay, so how to do it? So to do this, you have to go to this. First, there are 3 steps, I think. 2 steps. Sorry, sorry, 3 steps only. So there are only 3 steps you have to configure. Okay, the first step is you have to create the form, because every year, this is the 2023 version of it. Okay, so this is a form you have to create, and after creating this, you have to change some content inside that form. Okay, and the third step is you have to there are certain again changes you have to do in particular table. Okay, this is a table. SAP will tell that. So let me do it for you if you want. Okay, let me show that. Otherwise, you can show your screen. Once again, I will be guiding you. It will be an hands-on for you as well. Can you open
Okay. Okay.
your SAP system and go to the transaction code SFP? You have to enter SFP transaction code. Yeah. Log into the system and go to the transaction code called SFP. Yeah. So here, I'll be giving a form name. Okay, so what you need to do, generally, can you just type HR_F there, HR_F underscore 941, because 2022 form may not be there. Put a star there, put a star there, and you select the drop down. Then you will be seeing how many forms are there in your system, which is the latest one. You can see, I can see like 13, 14, but there is nothing called 22. Okay. So you just select whatever is there in your form. But ideally, if you are doing it for 2023, you have to copy the previous one generally. Okay. But for now, you can select the 14. Okay. 14. 941 underscore 14. Yeah. So then there is a copy option in the top. click that copy, click the copy option, and you enter copy, write down there HR underscore F underscore 941 underscore 23. Okay. This is very simple. Generally, technical consultant do it, but I also want you to do it. You should be familiar about it. Yeah. Tick that box. Yeah. Okay. So what it is showing, internal error occurred in SAP. What is that? API. Okay. This could be some technical challenges. Click that change button. Yeah. Okay. Display button. If it is not working, nothing is happening. Okay, good. So generally, okay, but anyway, so this is the point where exactly we come here. Okay, there are some technical things, it is not working in your system. Okay, it is not upgraded, I think, long back. It's a demo environment. Okay, generally what we do, we come to this place, we copy the form. Okay, then whatever is required, the file which is actually SAP has given, that we upload, and we generally do it here. What I will do, I will check in my system, other system. Okay, if I'm able to do it, then I will be sharing with you. Otherwise, the steps which I have done, okay, which I'll be showing to you now. Okay, let me open that note again. The manual instruction notes. Okay, so that you have to fill up. It's very simple. Can you see the instructions now? Yeah, are you able to
Yes, yes,
see?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you have to go to this transaction. Very simple. Like you have copy the previous version and you have copy to the 23 version. And after that, you have to simply edit that file. Okay. So from now you are in your system, it is not editable, but you will be able to edit that. And after that, what you will be doing? So download the file. Okay. So already we have downloaded that XML file, which I have shown to you, right? That is something we have to upload. Okay. There is a utility functionality. Once you do this 5 steps here, okay, once you have done it, then again there is something called content. There's a table SM30. You have to go and you have to basically update this table. Okay, so let me check it out if I'm possible. It is possible for me to check it out. Okay, let me uh, go to my system. I think I have also a similar kind of a system. Only I do not have in live system here. Let me go to that login, and I will be opening my system. SAP HCM 99, connect to remote system. Then I will be checking that. It is super easy, but the thing is you have to follow the instruction. Whatever SAP is saying, that manual, strictly you have to refer. You do not have to do something your own. Okay. And whatever the
Okay.
timeline also they are giving, right? The start date and end date, right? It should be
Yes.
also similar. Okay. Because whenever you are starting your Q2, okay, so they're also saying delete the previous one. Okay. That means whenever you are moving to 2023, they're asking you have to remove the previous entry. That means 1st of April 2022, this entry you have to delete. Okay. And after that, they are saying create a new entry because you are starting the Q1, right? So Q1, whenever you're entering, you have to enter like this. Okay, this is something you have to enter. Okay, and it's a very simple process. Just you have to maintain this table. Okay, let me check into it. Let me connect again. I think some connectivity issues. So meanwhile, this is the note we'll be referring for our configurations. So let me open. So this is the client, my SAP system. The credential is S4HANA, S4HANA 149. S4HANA, then I do have, this is the transaction plot 2023. 2023, okay. I'm not sure whether it will be there or not, but the table I can will be able to show it.
Okay.
Let me open SAP. I have a very big font size.
Yes.
So let me open best. This is my user ID, my password I forgot. Welcome 123. Welcome. So let me check it out if I'm having a SFP. If I go to SFP, can you tell me the form name once again, which I have told to you? Is it HR, right? Form name is HR underscore F underscore 941. Okay, so let me search for it. HR underscore F underscore 941. I'll put a star. Let's see what are there. Okay, I have till 2017, I think. So okay, this is up to this I do have. Okay, I think it is having till 2017 in my system. Okay, what I will do, this is a quarterly form correction. I will be copying this. Okay, HR underscore F underscore 941. Is it X or only 23? Okay, only 23. Okay, we have to follow strictly whatever they are saying. Okay,
Okay.
underscore 23. Let me copy it. Oh, I think there's some issues here. Okay, in my system as well. I think in the demo environment, I'm looking into it. This is something internal error occurred in SAP API. Okay, there are some issues here anyway. So if I want to check it out, suppose I want to see an existing one, let me check it out an existing one. Okay, instead of I will check this one from my point. Okay, this is called form build up. Okay, so what I will do, I will check some of the existing form. Let me display. This is how the form will be looking like, whether it is a 2017 or 2024, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is how a typical forms will be looking like. Okay, so here you will be having, there is something called import, some system fields. Okay, and here you'll be seeing in the right hand side what kind of data it will be bringing in, and here you will be seeing all the table name from where exactly this, because whenever you are creating a form or report, it will depend upon your values or data points, right? So in the backend, you will be having all the fields. Okay, so these are different fields: text, company, description, city, region, postal code. All the information will be there in your system. Okay, for every info types, it will be picking the data. Okay, so it will be having data from info type 2. Okay, so these are all info type 2 related fields. Okay, info type 6 related fields. These are all your address will be there in from your info type 6. Okay, similarly, there are some other fields as well. So this form will be bringing all the data from all the fields, which you can see it here. Okay, so these things we do not have to touch. Okay, generally SAP will be telling you which are the fields they will be creating for you, and they will be assigning. Only thing is, as for the instructions, whatever changes they're asking to you to do, okay, that changes you will be doing here. Okay, and if you see here, if I go to the layout, okay, so this is also not working in the demo environment anyway. So if I go here, SFT, again, go to display. This is how it looks like. Layout, I think it is, there is a layout designer which is not installed. So that configuration is missing. For that reason, it could be giving an error. Okay. So there is this is a common thing in the demo environment. Okay. But anyway, we are doing
Yes.
90% of the things whatever possible in our system. Okay. So here, once you work in a live project, okay, generally this thesis will not be there. Okay. If I go to the properties here, so this is again, you can see created by whom? Created by SAP. SAP will be creating for you. You don't have to create. Okay. Generally,
Okay.
SAP will be giving you instructions. In that case, you have to copy it and you have to do it. Okay. So if I see here, go to the layout, I think it is, let's see whether I can showcase this or not. If I click, oh, I think there is some issue in the layout designer. Okay, but anyway, this is the process. Okay, you have to follow one for a SFP form. This is the one new transaction you have learned today. That means you will be creating this form, and after doing that, okay, there will be a something called in that particular form. Okay, you will be activating this one. Okay, means there will be a option. Okay, like this. If you go here, okay, so here there is something called utilities. Okay, so here again you have to upload and download whatever the forms they're asking for. Okay, so that also you have to do it from here, what they're asking, utilities. Okay, once it is done, you have to save and activate. So where to do it? Simply save this option. Now this option is not coming, then you have to activate it. Okay, so this is an option to activate. Okay, so you have to activate this particular form. Okay, once it is activated, it will be showing something called active object generated. Okay, so you have to ensure this is coming up. Okay, once it is done, yeah. So let me try again. I think some other issues are there in the system. Okay, but this is the process we have to follow. Okay, so this is something, some other issues are there, but
Okay.
once you go to the transaction, this is the process we have to follow. Okay, so once you do it, okay, just I'm trying to showcase whatever possible. If I test it also, okay, so this is how system will look like. Test environment regenerated, this option will come. And I think, suppose if you are while doing this, some issues is coming up. Okay, maybe you can ask your developer. Okay, there is a debugging options, they can debug it for you. Okay, it will go to a particular code, and these things you don't have to do, don't worry. If it is standard one, this issue may not come, but in case if you're getting some issues, so because I know also NABAP, okay, but this is something you can take help from your developer. Okay, they are functional consultant, ideally they do not do it. Okay, so you have to check, this is a code actually which SAP provides. Okay, and if anything is needed, you can also at least understand the issue. Okay, you can take your help from your developer. Okay, so this is something which I thought of sharing with you. This is the first part. Second part is the easy one. Okay, so this is just an SM30 transaction. In SM30, you have to go to this particular table. Once your step one is done, that means you have created a form for 2023, right? The second step is very easy. Okay, so simply you have to go to this particular table, SM30 V underscore T5UX7. Okay, so let me go there, SM30, and you have to go to that particular table called V underscore T5U, V underscore T5U X7, 7. Yeah. So this is a table which you have to maintain. Country grouping, which is the country grouping for US is a 10. Okay, in the tax form, which tax form? Okay, because it is not everything, so we do not, whatever the tax form you have created. Okay, so that only you have to check. Suppose this is our tax form. Okay, HRF 941. Okay, I will be going there. For that, but for every tax form there will be a specific table. Okay, so you can see, so there are so many tax forms here. Okay, so you can see there are so many things. 2016-17, I think the latest, I think this is the one we have. Okay, so whatever the tax forms you are having, okay, accordingly whatever SAP will be telling you to the configure, you can see they are saying to delete an entry. So for a particular form, okay, so for tax form HRF 941, they are saying to delete this. So we do not have any this entry. We don't have to worry. So this is an entry they are asking us to do. Okay, so what I will do, let me try to do this because I do not have this form. Okay, otherwise once you create this form, simply create new entries here and choose that form number, enter the start date and end date, whatever SAP is saying in this field, start and end date here. Okay, and PDF, because there will be three types of form: PDF, SAP script, and HR form table. Because we want a PDF format, right? So you to always choose the PDF form. There are three kinds of output here, type of output. Okay, PDF form, SAP script, as well as HR formula table. So you'll be use the PDF form here. Okay, once you do it, simply save it. Okay, so this is the way we have to choose here, and this is an alternate form. Okay, so you have to choose this field here. This is called alternate form here. You have to enter that. Okay, so let's say I'll be putting here like this. Copy it, hrf. So hrf 941. This is a free text. Okay, so I will be able to do it. Okay, 23 941 23 underscore 23, and I should be able to. I think I'm able to do it. Start date is 1st of January 2023. If I do that, I think January I have to put here like this. Let me go there. January 2023. This is the date I will be putting here. Okay. Sorry, I have put some other wrong date. 0101 2023. This is my start date, and end date is 31/12/9999. Okay, so that date I will be putting here. 31/12/9999. And is there anything else in this configurations? I don't see. So this is one form. This is the way you have to make an entry into this particular tax form. Okay, simply save it. Let me try if I'm able to save it or not. I think there's some issues. Let me check it out. This is the name entry. This is the one. This is that 1/1/2023. 31129999. We try to save it. Okay. Okay. Anyway, but this is the process. You have to come. You have to save this particular file. Okay. Oh yeah. Now I'm able to save it. Okay. Fortunately. So this is something which I will be creating a transport request. New transport request I'll be creating. So for all of your year-end activities, whatever you are doing, okay, you can make a new separate transport request so that it will not be mixing with any other thing. Okay. So I will make
Okay.
your year-end activities for US payroll. I will just shortcut PR US. Then it is done by me as I am doing it, my name. So that it will be easy for you to track. And I am doing it in the month of April. Okay. So April 2023, I'm doing it. Okay. So this is year-end activities for 2023. Okay. So 2023. Okay. Or not 2023, rather it is 2022 only, because that we are doing in 2023, but it is a 2022 year-end activities we are doing. Okay, that is
Okay.
something you can put it here like this. Okay, so this is a year-end activity so that you are clear what you are doing. Okay, so year-end activities for US payroll, and sorry, so I have to put an S here, Control X, U, Control V. Yeah. So this is something which I'll be doing. So whatever changes, whatever I'll be doing, I'll be always put in this particular transport request. Okay. So this is the transport request. And once you are done, you have to ask your basis consultant. Once you test, you have to move it to the quality for testing, and after that you have to move into the production. Okay, finally, once your testing is everything successful, this is the second step in the year-end activities. So I've not done everything, just I'm showing you a few entries. Okay, so this is the content in this particular table you have to change. Then final step is your changes content to the cluster. Okay, so whenever I'm saying a cluster, okay, this is again a table only. Okay, so in the second step, we have followed the SM30 transaction. Okay, here, okay, whatever we have done in this particular table. In the third step, what we are doing here, this is a content of view cluster. This. So how to access this? Again, SAP has given a step-by-step process. You have to go to SM34 and you have to maintain this particular table, and you have to choose SCM localization 10. That is for US. Okay, so I will go to SM34/N SM34, and in that I have to go to the particular cluster, because these are cluster table, V underscore T51 T8. You don't have to remember all the things, but you have to, but for interview purpose you can remember. Okay, but ideally I do not remember, so I always refer the note. All these are handy available. T51 T8, T51 T8, the very typical tables. I will go and maintain it here. Okay, country grouping 10, because we are working for US payroll. And if I go inside it, let me see what is there. Yeah. So this is how the text forms will be looking like, okay, for every year. So this is already, we have seen it, right? If you have seen text form definition, we have gone through an SPRO, but here directly we are going through a table. Did you remember? We have gone through this
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of a table. It is the
Yes,
same
no.
thing, okay? Just it is a transaction code. We are going through a transaction code, okay? So what I will do, I will go to this particular, okay, let's say particular form, let's say HR, sorry, because we are talking about 941 only, we'll be focusing on that. Let me go there. This is 941 federal tax return quarterly, okay? If I go here, if you have to see details, okay, I can see the details about it, okay, quarterly, and this is the unit, and you can do all the things. You can see everything from here, okay? This is the form we are using, okay, interface. And what exactly they are saying to do here, after going to this main form, okay, what we do, select the main form we already selected, and select the issuing of text forms in the left pan. When I say left pan, okay, what does it mean? This is the left pan they're talking about. Okay, so you have to select this issuing of text form. Okay, once you select it, what will happen? You'll be getting another screen like this. Okay, and in this screen you are seeing 13 entries. Okay, so if you scroll down here, you can see there are so many entries. Line 41 5, adjustment. For adjustment there is another alternative form. So you have to always choose your alternative form here. Okay, so you can see 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, because we have a main form, and every year we do create a alternative form. Alternative forms means the latest one. So you can see here in my system up to 2007 it is already there. Okay, so what I will be doing here as per this configurations, okay, So they're asking you to simple make a new entry here. Okay, for 2023. It is very simple. Okay, I'll be creating a new entry which should be looking like this. Okay, so very simple process. I'll be going here. I have to mention the sequential number is a 19 as for this. Okay, whatever it is there. Okay, but I'll be putting the form name is 23 here. Okay, what I will do, I'll be creating a new entries. Simply click new entries here. And this is the same screen, which is again SAP which has they have given. Okay, similar to that. Okay, I'll be entering 00919 here. And the tax authority, this is the important one, tax authority. You can, it is optional. You can see, you can may leave it blank. So that means it is applicable for everything. Okay, so then you have to mention this form HRF 941 to 23. Okay, so here what I will do, at present I do not have that form. Okay, let's see what I can use it. Okay, so but technically if it is already configured, okay, so that you have to utilize here. Let's see. This is a one-time activity. Every thing you have to do whenever you are getting a such kind of notification from SAP.
Okay.
So you have to do this activity. So 941, what I will do, instead of choosing the my form, okay, I'll be choosing this generic one. Okay, but ideally you'll be selecting a 941 with 23 ending with 23. That form you have to choose here. So I'm just for now, I'll be choosing something else. Okay, I'll be choosing ideally 23 should be there. Okay, but as it is not happening in my system, it should be like this 23. So I'm not entering. Okay, so this is an adjustment. You can see. Okay, so this is something we have to do it. If it is done in the previous step, technically it will be coming here. So what I will do, I'll enter is a 941. So for the time being, I'm not entering. Okay, 941 you have to enter, and the remaining it will be always a PDF. Okay, and it will be always the header information of the form. So 941 for a tax company, you simply maintain it. Okay, it can be anything. You can write anything, but it should be meaningful. Okay, for tax company. And after doing this, what you have to do? Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, so this is we have to aggregation level, we have to mention tax company summary. Okay, and you have to ensure page break after this event. So this is the two things you have to remember here. As per these instructions, I go here, make sure this is you have selected page break after this event, and there is a tax. I think this tax authority or tax company. Just a minute. It is tax company. Okay, so you will be getting a summary of your whatever you are doing it. Okay, the tax company summary, and after doing this, simply you have to I will consider it's at 23. Okay, although I have entered 941, and simply I have to save it. Okay, so this is the way we have to choose, and yeah. So once it is done, it will be saved in a transport request. Same transport request you can utilize. Okay, now you are done for this year. Okay, so this is something you have to do for this particular configuration. Once it is done, so the remaining stuff will follow. Okay, so this is a manual instruction we have followed. It's super easy. Only thing is whatever they are saying, follow to the T. Whatever they are saying, exactly follow the same thing. Okay, this is the way you do a manual instruction for any tax related, any same thing. Whatever I have done it. Okay, anyway, we'll be getting this video. See this video once or one time more. Okay, make some notes, and same thing you should be able to say in an interview process. Okay, so this is how we followed a, let's say this is the changes. Okay, for tax federal changes we have followed, and we have followed those notes, and how we have implemented those notes manual changes if it is there. If it is there not a manual changes, definitely SAP will take care of it. Okay, that means whenever you're upgrading your packages, support packages, right, this is a how the support packages will be looking like. Okay, B1, B2, B3, L7, like that, the higher version and all, right? So accordingly, you have to ask to your SAP basis consultant. They will be once they upgrade it. Only thing is you have to test it. Okay, this is something which you have to do it from your SAP basis consultant. And if it is a manual corrections, definitely you have to do it manually. Okay, and SAP will be providing those notes. You'll be so this portal is very important whenever you'll be working in a project. Okay, which is indirectly you will not be getting access once into a project. This portal is your guide. Okay, you have to refer everything whatever they are saying in this note. Okay, so that I think that was helpful. I tried my best whatever is possible way it was possible in the system, in the my system as well as your system. Okay, but it is 90 to 95% same thing. Okay, once it is done, so simply you have to save entry and you have to test it. Okay, whether it is working or fine or not. That testing part definitely you will be able to do it in your system once you get into a project and we will be able to do it. Okay, so I think that covers your tax reporter topic today. Okay, this is the most important part, and this is also we call it every year we do this activity. We call it year-end activities. And also there are some two more transaction I will be leave with you. Okay, so this is something basically we use it something called PAUX and PAUY. These two transaction also you can refer. One is called PAUX. Okay, so here exactly, if you do any kind of an adjustment, okay, so this transaction we do use it for at an employee level. Okay, suppose some for employee some issue happens and all, right? You can do this. This is called we adjustment workbench. Okay, this one we use it. Another is PAUY. Another transaction code is there. Okay, PA. This one also you can explore more. Okay, PAUY. This is also for any kind thing special retro processing if you want to do it. Okay, it may happen while doing some calculations, you are having some issues for some employees. Okay, and you want to do some adjustment, and these are the tool where you can adjust. Okay, where to adjust? So you can simply choose that employee. Okay, and after choosing that employee, why you are adjusting, that also you have to justify. Okay, whether it is a year-end adjustment or it is an expert adjustment or the payroll results adjustment, you are doing it. Okay, and whether it will be impacting with tax calculation or without tax calculation, that you select here. Okay, then you simply execute it. Okay, so these are the two transaction also we use it at the year end. PAUX, PAUY. Okay, so which you have to remember as a part of your year end activities. We do it. Okay, so I think almost I touched upon a lot of things. Okay, but tomorrow what we will do, so I will be summarizing whatever we have studied today and last yesterday. Okay, I'll be preparing for some interview questions for you. Okay, and so that I'll not give you an answer. You have to find the answer based on today's session and yesterday's session, and you have to share with me. Okay, so only for tax. Okay, because tax is an important topic. Okay, whatever we have seen today and yesterday. Okay, it almost takes this entire activity 2 to 3 months. Okay, to perform mostly the testing part. Okay, and if you're implementing from scratch, it will take more time. Okay, but this is more than enough to crack any interview related to the your specific UX US payroll tax point of view. Okay, which I just shared with you today's session and yesterday's session. Okay, so just go through it. So tax reporter part and whatever that you have seen today. Okay, and maybe tomorrow we will be having more of a comprehensive session covering if you have any questions, jot down those questions. You can ask those questions tomorrow. Okay, and I'll be sharing this video most probably by today evening. Okay, and go through that. Okay, and we will be having a catch-up session tomorrow again. So that's all for today. Any questions? I'll stop otherwise.
Yeah, you can stop this recording. It's not relevant to this. Can you stop and
Okay.
discuss at 2 to
Yes.
3 minutes and close?
Just a minute. Yeah, yeah.